Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Ivan, and today in this episode of basic scripting tutorial series, we are going to be talking about if statements. So let's get started. Insert a script. Just like that. And if statements. So far in our series of our basic scripting tutorial series, we have talked about variables, and we have talked about what are they called? We have talked about the instance.new function. So with that being said, let's get started. So, if statement. An if statement is basically a sentence in your code that checks something. Let's say, let me just clear that out, and okay. So, let's insert a part. For an example, our part is going to be our example. Let's call it the example part. Actually, I don't even care. Just call it part. If you don't have anything in your workspace that's called part, then just leave it. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna call it example part, just in case. So, here we have our example part. Let's insert another part, just to make the example more simple and so you guys can understand this. So, let's say we'll insert a wedge. How about a spawn location? So we already have a spawn location over here. And the spawn location, it's a spawn, but it's literally similar to the part over here. It's very similar. It has the same properties, except a spawn location. Okay, it has the enabled property, which the part that doesn't have. A regular part does not have the enabled bool. And the spawn location has a team's data, team's properties, like allow team change on touch, neutrality, and team color. And it also has a force field data, like the force field's duration. In this case, mine is set to 0, so there's going to be no force field. But other than that, it's all the same thing. It's all similar to the example part, except the spawn location has a couple of more properties than the example part. But it has nothing missing, so it's all good. But yeah, for example, so we have, let's define a variable. I bet you guys already know how to define variables, and if you have not, and if you still don't know how to define variables, I suggest you guys check out my playlist, my basic scripting tutorials playlist. And my first episode of the playlist is going to be variables, because it's very basic for scripting. So far what we have learned, I am going to be I'm going to be defining variables, maybe even create something, I don't know, but basically we're focusing on if statements. So local part equals workspace dot example part. So our part is the variable, the definition is the example part over here. Next, let's define a spawn location. Spawn. Oh, that's a keyword. So I'm just gonna call it spawn location equals workspace dot spawn location. So next, an if statement. How about that? So if part is a part. Then, so we just create a sentence, an if statement. The statement is, if the part is a part, then we'll make it stay. Or you know what? If it's a part, then we'll make the color go from gray to red, for example. Then part dot brick color equals brick color dot red. Else if, so an else if keyword is it's basically part of your if statement. You cannot create an else if just right away. So if we were to erase that, for example, just keep it like that. Just this plain if statement. If we were to write else if that, it's gonna show you an error. See, expected an end of line, expected end of line, and it will want it to be an if statement, not an else if. So basically, don't ever make else if statements, because you can only use them inside an if statement. That's how it works. Same thing with the else keyword. Else. Well, so what? What's the other part? Well, what's the first part? So that's why these else and else if keywords, they are used inside an if statement. So let's say else if oh wait, actually I have a different idea. So instead of defining these variables, I could have done a better example if I used loops, but you probably don't even know how to use loops yet, because I was going to do that at the end of my series or my next video. But okay, I have a better example actually. So let's just ignore the spawn location. Let's instead duplicate the example part, and we're gonna call it example part 2. Actually, okay, you know what? I give up this whole idea. I will make a different kind of one. So we'll do this kind of if statement. So delete the spawn location variable and let's go with this. So a different if statement. If part dot brick color equals brick color dot new medium stone gray. So right now its current state, its current color is medium stone gray. And then we write the then keyword. Then we're gonna say make it turn it red. Part dot brick color equals brick color dot new, and we're gonna make it a really red brick color. Then we write an else if statement. Actually, no. Here, just execute it in the command bar over here. Alright, so let's check this. As you can see, so what we just did is this. We checked if the color is gray, then make the part's color become red. That's what we just did. Now let's just bring it back to gray again, okay? There, simple gray. We're gonna do an else if statement. Else if part dot brick color. So we're gonna just kind of do it the opposite way now. Equals brick color dot new really red. Then I'm just gonna do this. There. So we just did it the opposite way. So what we just did, we're checking if the color is gray, then make it become gray. Make it become red. Or if, else if, the brick color is red, then turn it to gray. So now let's see. It's going to do the same thing as what we did here, because the color is still gray, so it's not going to turn back anything. Oh, we just got an error. Oopsie. Alright, let's see. Ay, blin. It's again. What happened here? What's the error? I don't even see the error. Oh, okay, so it's N1, attempt to index nil with brick color. Alright, let's see what we just did wrong. Nah, I don't see anything wrong with the script. Alright, so I think it just doesn't feel like... Or you know what, forget the else if statement. So, we tested out this code. Now let's do it the opposite way. Let's make this. Do this. And then we'll change the color here to medium stone gray. And then boom. So, originally the color was supposed to be red. So, alright. Hold up, let's go over here. And erase these what are they called? Arrows, those arrow keys. We remove them because they're gonna cause error. I think that's about it. Alright, clear the output to make it be fresh. And let's see. Alright, we turned the brick red. Now let's copy this. So from being red, it's going to become gray again. So if it's gray, it becomes red. So we turn it red, right? Now we'll do the opposite way. If it's red, then make it become gray. Boom. There you go. So the brick was red, and the if statement was checking if it's red, and it turned it. Now imagine if, so right now it is gray, right? Now imagine if we simply just pressed enter again, if we just executed this again. There will be no error. It's still not going to be doing anything because it's checking. It's just a checker. It's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be checking things. If something happens, if it's that, so it's kind of like this. If this, then that. Ever heard of that before? No? I've heard that from my teacher before, and that kind of made me understand better about if statements when I was learning about them before, when I was still a noob at scripting. Sorry. As you can see, no error and nothing happened. It checked if the color is red, and it's not the color. It's not red, so it didn't do anything. Well, it did say if it's red, then turn it to gray, but even if we did change something here, just make it go yellow, for example. See? Nothing would happen. And there's no error. So, always remember that if statements, they're just checking things. And even if the color is red, it will do it. See, it worked. Now, if we do it again, because it's now already yellow, so there shouldn't be doing anything, because it's already checking if it's red. And see? No change. No error. So, always remember that if statements are supposed to be doing the yes and sometimes the no. So, it's kind of a yes or no. So, if the color is red, then please change it to yellow. If not, then don't. Or if it was to be gray, then yes, change it. So let's see if we can do an else if. Oh wait, actually, it would do an error anyway, so I don't care. So I hope you guys understand about if statements. If you guys do have any questions, you guys can always ask me in the comment section. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys actually learned something from this video. If you guys want some tutorials that you guys want for me to do, then you guys can always ask me in the comment section, and I'll gladly would help you. I would do the tutorial, and might even I might even help somebody else who's looking for a tutorial to help them. But anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys in the next upload.